Hello, welcome to European Open Briefing for Thursday, July the 5th. I'm Rafi Bayajan, currency analyst at XM.com, and we're going to be taking a look at what's happening in the currency markets today. There's quite a bit of a risk off this morning still. There's caution ahead of the US tariffs on Chinese products coming into effect tomorrow. We don't know whether or not that's going to lead to other developments on that front. We do know that China will likely retaliate with countermeasures. So all of that is still weighing on Asian stocks, most of which are still in the red this morning, though the losses not quite as bad as in recent days. In Europe, though, we do have a positive start. The yuan has given up some of its gains from the past couple of days, though overall it is much steadier than we have seen over the past few weeks. The dollar is mixed this morning. We can see the dollar index down by a third of a percentage points, but the dollar is up against the yen. We're seeing a firmer euro and a pound this morning. The Aussie and the loonie are flat, though, due to investor anxiety over tomorrow's tariffs coming into effect, though the Kiwi has managed to make some impressive gains this morning. It's one of the better performers. Oil is down, though, after President Trump made another tweet demanding that OPEC cut oil prices. And we can see oil is one of the worst performers this morning. So is the dollar index, but up there we've got the euro both against the yen and the dollar, and then followed by the Kiwi. So let's see now what's happening to the dollar yen pair. We did see a bit of a bounce higher at the European as European trading started. The dollar index, though, is trading near 1 week lows. So yesterday the US markets were closed for Independence Day, so that's why the dollar was lacking direction. But we do have the FOMC minutes coming up later today for the June meeting. It's going to be interesting or not whether to see whether the Fed will mention any trade risks or whether they're going to change their outlook on the economy given recent strong data. And plus on top of that, we're going to have the non-farm payrolls report tomorrow, so all of that should bring in some volatility for the dollar. But trade, of course, is still at the forefront, as the US will go ahead with the initial 34 billion of tariffs on Chinese products. China has said that it will first wait for the US to go ahead with tariffs before responding, given that China is ahead in terms of the time zones. They're not gonna go ahead with those tariffs at 12 a.m. Local time. They're going to wait for the US to be the first to take action. If you now have a look at the euro, because we are seeing the euro looking much firmer, it briefly spiked above the 1.17 level. There have been some reports saying that according to sources close to the ECB, that policymakers aren't happy about the market's pricing in a rate hike by the ECB by December 2019 at the earliest. Sources say that September, October is much more likely, and we saw futures markets responding to that, with the odds of a September hike increasing to around 80% after those reports started circulating, and gave the euro a bit of a lift as well. But in addition to that, we did see stronger than expected German factory orders for May out this morning. That also contributed to that jump, and of course yesterday we had that upward revision to the Eurozone final services PMIs, which indicates that the Eurozone growth is starting to pick up again. And the same can be said for the UK, where service PMI out of the UK beat expectations for June, lifting the pound. The pound is now back above the $1.32 level. So there's also been a bit of a boost coming on for the pound on news that Theresa May, the UK Prime Minister, will be seeking a custom solution where the UK will maintain regulatory alignment with the EU. So that implies a somewhat soft Brexit. So the UK needs regulatory alignment in order to avoid a hard border between Ireland and Northern Ireland. So May will discuss these plans with her ministers tomorrow, where it's important that she gets their approval so that the Brexit talks could then proceed with the EU. If we now take a quick look at today's economic calendar, we can see the German data there. We're going to have some industrial production numbers out of Sweden, but then focus will really be on the ADP employment report out of the US, as well as the weekly jobless claims and ISM non-manufacturing PMI, plus central bank speakers as well as the Fed minutes. That's it for me. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.